I don't care if you're trying to beat the heat or if you're just trying to stay cool. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your interim host, the oldest ninja in the world, and on my left or my right, I guess depending on what screen you got, is Cronus.
Bro, I was waiting for you to say, I don't care if you're trying to beat this heat or you're trying to beat your meat. I was waiting for that to
No,
drop.
no, I was waiting for Prodigy would have said that. I
Yeah.
didn't want to get.
You kept it classy, I guess, though.
Yeah, okay, yeah. This week we keep it
Oh,
because we missed
man.
a week. We missed a
Yeah.
week, but this first RIP won't be classic. I mean, it will be, but it won't be. But you'll see.
All right. That's a pretty funny answer. All right. So, anyway, go to stats real quick. Zor is the listener of the week. Thank you very much. First in the chat
Oh,
is nobody yet because we're like 12 minutes late. So, hopefully, everybody. Oh, I got to sneeze. Hopefully, people will.
I was just. I'm about to do it too.
Yeah, they're contagious, man. You see somebody else sneeze, you got to
It's hay
sneeze too.
it is allergy hay fever season. So, all right, I got the chat up on Twitch because I
Yeah.
keep forgetting.
Oh, there we go. Domino. Yo, what's going on?
Oh,
I'm starting with a fancy drink, sort of fancy. It's the Stone Wood Stout from 2018. This is a 6-year-old beer. Um, I went to Stone and saw a friend of mine, Tony, which I can talk about a little bit later, which is a
when
kind of a
did you
cool
go?
story.
When did you go? Did you went to Stone like recently?
Yeah, I went there on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Pretty sure it was
So
Saturday.
you were up here Saturday.
Stone is not up where you are. I mean, well,
Stone.
there's one in
No.
Napa, but I mean, I'm not going to drive to Napa to go to Stone when it's 40
Yeah,
miles
no.
from
I'm
me.
thinking the Fire. I'm thinking the Firestone Brewery because
Mm-mm. No,
they
Stone.
make 805. Yeah, no
Okay, yeah,
Stone.
no,
Yeah.
Stone in Escondido, not
Oh
Firestone,
yeah.
and like Paso Robles. I think it's in Paso Robles, right?
Yeah, it is. It is exactly Paso Robles, which I might be there next week, but we'll see. We're still working out details. Anyway, I
Oh,
got RIP.
hold on, real quick.
What's up?
Domino's asking you a question already. How was the festival?
Oh,
You want
the festival was long and hot, or actually no, it was really weird weather. But I got to see iconic acts that I probably will never get to see again. I got to what else to see? I can't even remember right now. I saw so many acts,
to
but
what? Wait, what festival was it?
I went to Cali Roots 2024,
Ah,
which is
okay.
a reggae festival in Monterey. They do it every year during uh, Memorial Day weekend. I went last year. I went again this year. Last year was 4 days. This year was only three. Either way, it was still cool. Um, it's usually around. It's a usually when we go, it's my friend's birthday, like the following like 3 4 days after, and it's always a birthday gift to him. So we celebrated a milestone with him last year. Everybody loved it, so we went again this year. Once again, celebrating his birthday. So I had a pretty good time. I was mostly separated from the squad, but we kept linking up. Ice Cube, like his his he had the largest stage because there was two stages this year, and he
Hmm.
had the largest one. It was packed. It was super packed. Like it was just like bodies on top of bodies. It was just funny seeing old OGs trying to like crip walk with their like bad knees and shit. It's pretty
I
much
feel
fun,
like
but I had a
I feel
really
like you
good
can
time.
crip walk well into your 70s, probably.
Maybe, but like these guys are they're trying to do like the complicated stuff, like the heel
Oh,
toe and
okay.
like the shuffle feet and whatnot. Yeah, like when you start doing it, you see them stop and just go back with their bear. Like yeah, you're gonna need some icy hot or something on that. So I saw you try to start it
They're
up.
gonna
It's
snap,
just
crackle,
funny.
pop. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of them had like kids. Some of them are small kids. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I see what you did, but respect. I mean, you're still out there trying to dress like you're the 1990s, like L.A. and East Oakland, like gangster. I see you. So it was good to see people. There was no fights that I know of. The only time I see like trouble, it was someone who either it was too hot or they were too wasted or they were just like super just on whatever kind of psychedelics where they had to be pulled out of the crowd on like makeshift stretchers. That was like the only thing. Like nobody's fighting at these things. Everyone's super high, and they're super got the munchies. Ain't nobody fighting at these, which was cool. It's good to see, especially like during like Ice Cube's Super Gangster like his performance. But like there's a lot of really good reggae acts that I got to see. Like it was weird because it sprinkled on us on like the first night, so it was like weird. Like during to me, it's like summertime.
Was that
I'm
like
like getting rained on.
was it 40 water sprinkling you? Sprinkle me,
No,
man.
but
Sprinkle
he
me,
was there
man.
too. 40 Water was there. He showed up in a black fur coat. So
I mean,
it
that
was
seems
him and Too
appropriate.
Short. Yeah, him and Too Short performed together. So the Too Short went first, and then E40 joined him on stage. They performed 3 songs together, and Too Short left. He came back a little bit with his drink, but he didn't perform after that. He just stayed on stage for a little bit and then disappeared. So it's really hard to see like a lot of acts that you want because you have to like fight the crowd to try to get spots and run to another stage. But it was fun. If you live like between I guess Santa Barbara up to the Bay, it's definitely worth checking out. They do it every year. Tickets go on sale, I think, at the beginning of the year, January, I believe. But it's always a cool event. So great times.
All right. Sorry, now we can go to the RIPs.
Yeah. Where am I? I got my notes. Oh,
You're in your house.
shit. No, I'm talking about with my browser because I have a bunch of tabs up.
Oh, we know what those tabs mean.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not locked into Prodigy's laptop.
I
But
mean,
I've
you
seen the
say that, but
pictures.
we can see the reflection on your glasses, so I'm just
Yeah,
saying you got to keep it
you see
real.
text. You can see
No, I
text.
can
That's all you
know what
see.
you think.
Yeah, it's text.
I can put you
It's
up on
all
the
text.
ultra wide monitor, and I can see everything you're
Yeah,
seeing,
go
bro.
ahead. You can see you can see text. You can see my phone maybe, but it's a screen. You see, Warrior Fella is both in. He's both on Twitch and on YouTube. So shit, good on you, Fur. So RP this week we
There
have
we
Brother
go.
Marquise.
Hey, hey, Blue. Sorry,
Oh,
can you hear
it's
us?
all good.
Yes, I can.
We can hear you. All right,
There you go.
doing the RPs. Welcome to
There you
the
go.
podcast.
Yeah, we just came time. So RPs this week we have Brother Marquise, born Mark D. Ross. He was a member of the Miami hip hop group Two Live Crew, whose sexually explicit lyrics prompted the debate about race and artistic freedom in the late 80s and 90s. He was the MC on the group's first album, The Two Live Crew Is What We Are. In 1990, a Florida court deemed the group's third album, As Nasty as They Want to be legally obscene and therefore illegal to sell. It was the first album in U.S. history to have that distinction. The group fought it in court and they won and they were able to sell their album. I remember back in the day it was a very highly coveted album. The group was taken to court again in 1989 for a track called "Pretty Woman" over Roy Orbison's song. They were took to court over copyright infringement, but ended in winning the case as it was ruled that the song was a parody, and so they didn't get sued. They got out of that one too. And then Brother Marquise, he formed the duo Too Nasty with DJ Toomp and released the album Indecent Exposure in 1993. He's featured in Ice-T's album Home Invasion, and he also contributed on the original version of 99 Problems before Jay-Z. Brother Marquise said in a 2021 interview that he could take to his grave that he and the group made a difference in music and in freedom of speech. In a 2022 interview, Brother Marquis said he actually didn't like all of the profanity they put in their songs, but due to their success and the way the crowd responded, he kind of just went with it.
He's like,
He
but I fucking love money.
yeah. He died on June 3rd at the age of 58. No cause of death has been released.
That is so young.
So there we go. 58.
Oh man.
Hmm. So there we go. Sorry.
That's the last person who died?
Yeah, well, it's the last person I got.
Only person we're going to say. All right. The only person worthy for a quick obit.
RIP from the BTI.
No, by you. I mean, it's just old ninja. We do some, I guess.
Sure.
So, sometimes I do some.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. It's been like a fucking crazy week for me.
Yeah,
but
we weren't here. We weren't on last week. Oh,
no, and like a lot of significant things happened to me over the last week. But
I mean, you don't have to go into it, but I mean,
Yeah,
it'll
no,
be
I
good.
don't really
Yeah.
need to. But needless to say, my life is going to be changing next week. So yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen.
See
All right.
how it plays
Uh,
out.
Well,
yeah. So
sorry, it is probably going to affect the podcast. We might have to change the day of the podcast after next week. So we'll have to have an internal chat about that.
okay. Moving on, I guess. What's up with your? You didn't go into depth about your beer crawl, brewery hopping, going to Stone.
Yeah, I went to some a friend of mine from jiu-jitsu I haven't seen in like 5 years, which is kind of crazy. He's a guy who I met when I first started doing jiu-jitsu. He was, I think, a purple belt, but he was a black belt in judo already, so he was quite good at grappling. And he was like one of the first people, not one of the first, yeah, one of the first that was like dangerous, where he had like levels of like aggression when he would roll. He's like he's this dude from Lebanon. Shout out to Tony. He's actually been on my Cronus Does in the Jitscast before. So he's
So,
a,
so my question to you: was is he mini boss level or is he boss level?
he'd be especially now he's boss level because he's a black belt now in both
Okay.
judo and jiu-jitsu. So yeah,
Oh
I
shit.
would not want to
Bobby.
mess with that guy. And I know jiu-jitsu. I'm not as good as him, but you know.
My question is,
Damn,
so you have the
gotta get
glow.
your heels.
What
Gotta get your heels ready. Pick the right weapons.
he would have the glow.
Oh, what the
So
hell?
yeah.
He have the glow. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Anyway,
That's fucking hilarious.
he happened to be down here because he coaches jiu-jitsu now. He has his own gym out in Texas outside of Austin. It's a huge gym, really nice place called Supreme ATX. If you're ever out in the Austin area and you want to, if you're curious about jiu-jitsu, hit up that gym, Supreme ATX. Tony is the owner and he's a friend of mine. So tell him you know me and yeah, have fun at his gym. But he has a bunch of people that are in competition, and one of his people that are in competition had a competition in Long Beach, and then he also has family in Escondido, where I also used to live, which is kind of weird. And his daughter is going to be out here, who's the same age as my youngest daughter, around the same age. She's 8, my youngest is 7, and she's doing jiu-jitsu, and she competes, and she's going to a jiu-jitsu camp out in a place called Atos, which is like one of the premier gyms in jiu-jitsu in general. It's where a lot of world champs go to train, and now she's going to go train there. I think that's pretty dope. But yeah, we went out to Stone, had a few drinks and caught up, and it was really nice to talk to somebody about jiu-jitsu again and just to see him again in general because I used to see that dude at least once a week for a very long time.
Right on. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I forgot that we weren't. It's been a minute since I've been on because I wasn't here last week because it was at a graduation, so
Yeah.
I couldn't make it. So it's graduation season, so I've had to go to 2 and 3 days. Now it's like I guess wedding season, graduation season, and like right in the middle is Father's Day. So like, I guess I gotta like. I'm not a dad, but
Yeah, no, it's
still there's. Yeah, it's still weird to me because like Father's Day, it still feels like it's not as celebrated, but I mean it's still like a not it's still like a celebrated day, but like most dads that I know, they just want to barbecue and like drink beer on Father's Day. Like they don't give a shit. I mean, they'll get their obligatory tie or socks.
we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was random. My computer just said like, "Hey, you know what? It's fucking hot."
Oh
Turned
damn!
off.
Oh, it's
And I
Are you serious?
I put my hand on my fan and it was like blowing out like fire. It was freaking hot.
When's the last time you blew out your the fans?
I just got my laptop back from having service, so if they didn't pay it, then
yeah.
I might have paid. But no, I think I need a new battery on here. That's like the next thing I need because the battery doesn't hold a charge anymore. So I think like the power adapter came out somehow, and then the laptop just turned off. But it's fucking hot here in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was like 66 degrees today.
Are you serious?
It's fucking 90 here.
Yeah, it was like 93 today in Hayward.
I mean, hold on. Papa Bear, it'll take you a second for this to catch up. But how hot is it right now where you live? So I will see how high in the triple digits it is.
Yeah, actually, Papa Bear brought up something pretty interesting. Like, so when kids go from eighth grade to freshman, they don't graduate to freshman. They call it a promotion. They call it promotion ceremonies now. They don't call it graduation. Like, you don't graduate middle school. You promote from middle school.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
oh,
very odd. It's like to me, it's like a new thing because,
it is a
uh,
new thing. It's new to
yeah,
me too.
holy shit, it's
Yeah.
110 degrees right today,
110? God
and
dang.
I'll be there next week. So, yeah,
Jesus Christ, why?
yeah. Like, why am I going there? Anyway, I'm going there for Papa Bear's retirement. It's a 2-day retirement. First day is in 29 Palms, which is where it's 110 degrees, and the second place is going to be in Vegas, which is probably 110 degrees also, but it's
Yep.
in Vegas, so whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Um,
actually gonna be in Seattle next week. I'm traveling over
oh,
to
no
Seattle
Nice.
for work, so I'll be over in Redmond and
oh, you're in
probably
It's
Redmond.
in Seattle.
Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah, Microsoft's out there, but I think I'm staying in Bellhaven. I know what it's called.
Bloodhaven?
That's the name of the city.
Bloodhaven.
Yeah,
You just said
yeah,
Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out with Robin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry,
You know what's
that'd be
funny?
Nightwing. Robin doesn't go there. It's Nightwing.
Oh, that's
Well,
right.
there is no
Well, he
Robin.
might. The other Robin might help him out from time to time.
Yeah,
Help
that's
out
true.
his brother.
Red Robin.
Yeah.
So
So
you know what's funny is that it's 90. It was 90 something today, and like literally tomorrow it drops down. It drops 20 degrees to like 70.
that's reasonable. Yeah. It's it's one
Wow.
of the reasons why I miss living here is the weather, because the weather it gets hot here sometimes, but it's like not for a long time. So, and it's usually, I think it averages around 70 degrees here for now, because we're in the Goldilocks zone of the Goldilocks zone, and it's nice. So, uh, also, I wanted to say my youngest, she promoted or graduated or whatever today. She's now a second grader officially. She graduated
go.
first grade today, which was great. She also had a really good week last week, so she got another award for mathematics last week. That's 2 years in a row. And then both of us got promoted in jiu-jitsu. She got another strap on her white belt, and I got my last and final strap, my purple belt. So I have 6 months to get my brown belt.
Yeah. Wait, there's a time limit now. Wait, what?
It's not an official time limit, but basically I'm on notice of where I have to, like, the gym I'm at now, you have to kind of like test to get your brown belt. So I have to demonstrate like my skills, which my skills in jiu-jitsu are kind of widely varied. It's kind of weird. And then I have to do like a Shark Tank where basically they kick my ass for like 30 minutes straight. So
Damn.
yeah, which the
That's like what you do for your birthday, right?
yeah, that's why I'm like, it's not even a big deal to me. Like, I'll probably roll for longer on my birthday because I'll turn 45. But I think this year I want to go to Vegas for my birthday because there's 2 major jiu-jitsu tournaments that are there, and there's a new one that's there that has $1 million prize.
What?
And that's like the largest purse of any jiu-jitsu tournament ever. And basically the guy did it as like a fuck you to what was originally called like the Olympics of Jiu-Jitsu, ADCC, which is the Abu Dhabi Combat Club. And they every 2 years they have a competition, but the winner only gets $10,000. And so this dude that's putting on this new tournament, he used to compete at ADCC. He only got the highest he got was second. And so he called it the CJI, the Craig Jones Invitational. And anybody that gets into like his tournament, he's giving them $10,001 just to show up, and then $1 million to win. So he's
money.
well, he has some of it's his own money, but he has a anonymous sponsor, and he has his own nonprofit now. So it's going to be very interesting because people have already dropped out of ADCC, which is like this huge premier thing, to do his tournament, and it's on the same goddamn weekend. So I'm gonna go if I can get tickets to like his tournament. I'm gonna go and watch it. But I'm also kind of like worried because in jiu-jitsu sometimes there's a cost analysis that you do. Like if you're in a submission, if you're getting paid money, like how much are your medical bills going to be if you don't tap? So if you're getting paid $1 million, there probably isn't much that I'm going to tap to. Like if somebody's going to break my arm and I know I'm getting $1 million and I might win, I'll probably just let my arm fucking break, to be honest with you. For $1 million.
That's a lot of pain though.
Pain's temporary. $1 million, This lasts a long time. So,
So temporary
Well,
could be
what
a
is
year or
smart?
two. I mean, that's a long temporary.
hey, $1 million, it's $1 million.
I get it. I
It's
get it.
a $1 million
$1
life changer. Arm breaking. That comment.
Yeah, I mean, I've broken bones for free. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just
You know
saying.
what?
Jeez.
So this is gonna be an example of what it is to have a quality microphone because I don't have my microphone plugged in right now. So this is me talking regularly through some crappy microphone.
And this is with a really good microphone.
Yeah, you sound much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa.
I was gonna say because you sounded
Fuck,
like
fuck.
you're in like a can before.
Yeah, my camera's mic, and that one's just horrible. You probably can hear the fan and stuff behind me too. You probably can't hear
Yeah.
any. I have a pop. What's the thing called on the mic?
Pop filter?
No, it's not a dead
Yeah,
cat.
pop
It's a pop filter. Yeah,
Uh,
you're right.
I think it's also called like a cattail, but that's the bigger one that you
Mm,
see like movie studios and stuff have.
yeah. Should we get into some big news that happened? Because Warrior Fella was kind of sounding
Well,
off. But what's up?
I was gonna bring up something since you guys were talking about wrestling. The whole
It's not wrestling. How
Mike
dare you?
Tyson,
Fuck you.
I'm not wrestling. Rolling.
He's talking about martial. You
Uh,
just say martial arts. It's all good.
Martial arts. There we go. But yeah, the whole Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight was pulled, or I guess is kind of temporarily canceled. I guess Mike had a little bit of some health issues, so they had to like postpone the fight. And I think he was like on a flight recently, and I think he had like an ulcer flare up,
Yeah.
and I guess that's the issue that he was having. But yeah, so far that we know is that the fight's been postponed, either canceled or postponed. But hopefully it's postponed because I still want to see Mike, beat the shit out of Jake Paul.
Honestly, I'm very apprehensive about the fight because yes, I do want to see Mike Tyson defeat Jake Paul, but Mike Tyson's he's fucking old. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's old as in like in terms of like being a fighter. He's not old in general. He's not in his fucking 70s or 80s, but he's old as a fighter. I mean, I'm an aging athlete. I do jiu-jitsu, and like it's way harder for me to do jiu-jitsu now than it was in my fucking 30s. So I can't imagine what it's like to be a boxer in your 50s going against some guy that's in his fucking 20s. Like Jake Paul's skills aren't that great, but I mean, age alone will give him like at least a speed advantage. Power doesn't leave people. That's probably like one of the last things is power and like strength, like leaving a fighter, but he's going to be slower. So that's just them's the breaks. That's age. So
Yeah, and Mike Tyson right now is 57.
yeah,
And actually his birthday's coming up at the end of the month. He'd be 58. But
Wow.
like he's the same age as the rapper he was talking about earlier today.
yeah, the guy who died.
The Marquise.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I just heard it was postponed, but it'll probably just get moved to July or something. We'll see.
I want to see one of the Pauls actually fight, a current relevant actual professional boxer. Like very few of them have actually done that. They're all seem to be like these either really old boxers or older MMA guys. Fight
Yeah.
somebody that's in your age range. Fight somebody who's actually a pro boxer. That's all they do is boxing. So
Did somebody took Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us song, remixed it, and made it for Jake Paul, telling him that he needs to fight like real boxers and stop fighting like these old boxers and MMA fighters and stuff like that. It was actually really well done, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they might even used Kendrick Lamar's like voice and like AI generated of his voice singing the song. It's pretty crazy.
but it's entertaining. I mean, it brings eyeballs to boxing again because boxing right now is in a kind of precarious spot with viewership. I mean, they're still getting some viewers. What's kind of weird about boxing though is that unlike MMA, people in boxing are still getting paid millions of dollars. MMA, like people aren't getting paid shit. So same thing with jiu-jitsu. I was talking about before. And like jiu-jitsu don't get paid. They get paid thousands. So
and they have more of a draw, right? Like the MMA fights and stuff.
I would say it's a comparable draw to boxing. I don't know if it's any more than boxing. Boxing probably still is for some major fights. I would say like Tyson Fury fights, probably more. But just the disparity in pay is ridiculous, and there's really no excuse. I think Dana White and it's mainly Dana White and like people that own the UFC they are literally robbing their fighters to make money themselves. I mean, Dana White's a millionaire. There's very few actual millionaires in the UFC that are fighters. Like very few of them actually make anywhere near $1 million. And we're people that watch the UFC are there to watch the fighters. They're not there to watch Dana White. So yeah, that's a huge problem.
Yeah, because I know what Mayweather. I mean, he made like 20 million off his last fight, I believe, and it's like that's ridiculous.
Well, no, if you look
You
at
being a millionaire to be more of a millionaire.
well, if you look at we'll take like Francis Ngannou, right? So he's the guy who left the UFC to do MMA in a different organization and to box. And if you look at him, like Francis, let me look up Ngannou boxing purse. His last purse was, I'm pretty sure, was in like 20. Yeah, it was Francis Ngannou took home $20 million and he fucking lost. He never made a single $1 million in the UFC.
Damn, that's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. And for people like, I think like his last UFC fight, here it is. Francis Ngannou's last UFC fight, he made $600,000.
Woo!
Which is like, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, but and then if you look at like the card, if you look at like the card, like down the line when they have to, when they're reporting like their earnings, it's ridiculous. Like, so that $600,000 that Francis Ngannou made in his last UFC fight, that was on the high end of the UFC. You have people on that same card that'll make literally like $5,000 to fight, and people understand that, like, when you're a fighter, you have like dues you have to pay. Like, you have to pay your coaches, you have to pay your gym, you have to pay your manager. If you get injured, you have to pay for your fucking, because you don't have fucking medical insurance, so you have to pay, doctors to repair all your shit. Time away from home is all these things. Like, it's so difficult on your body and everything else to like that shit's worth money. It's not paying somebody, $5,000 to $12,000 in the UFC is so fucking ridiculous. Like, that's basically, it's nothing. And you can only fight, I would say most people, maximum 4 times a year. That's pushing it.
Trying to see how much like low card fights usually bring in, or how much they usually get paid, but it's something that I can't figure out how to search for.
Oh no, I can pull it up for you. Just bullshit for a second.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole Tyson thing, like, I hope he makes a good recovery, just because, I don't know, Tyson's became a really cool dude. I mean, he chilled out a lot, especially like, I feel like after they did what's it called? What's in a movie with the guys, they go to Vegas and they steal the tiger.
The Hangover.
The Hangover, yeah. And then like his show, Tyson's Mystery, is probably one of the best animated shows. It's up there with the Black Dynamite animation. That show was really funny too. But yeah, just hopefully Tyson makes recovery, and hope we can still see a decent fight if it happens. And if not, I don't want to hear Jake Paul like bragging about anything that he scared Mike Tyson or some BS like that.
So far he's been quiet as far as I know.
I'm trying to pull up the fight purses.
Did you see that interview? Somebody, I guess they were interviewing Tyson and Jake Paul, and somebody in the audience had asked Jake Paul, like, "Hey, how come, you're not doing any real fights and you're just, doing all these gimmick fights?" And instead of Jake Paul like answering the guy, he's like, "Wait, what did you call Mike Tyson?" And Mike Tyson's like, I don't even think Mike Tyson was paying attention, but Mike Tyson's like, "Wait, what did you say about me?" Because all Mike Tyson probably heard was him calling Mike Tyson a gimmick. And so Mike Tyson got mad, but Jake Paul basically deflected his question, because the guy he didn't answer the guy's question, like, why are you doing all these kind of gimmick fights and why don't you fight a real fighter? And he just turned it around.
Yeah.
All bad.
Oh, I'm trying to find the prize money. Here we go. Maybe, hopefully this is it. Yeah, they're so hard to like pull up sometimes. Like I found the one for like UFC 302, which is a high one, but finding the ones for like the low end ones are like pretty low. So I'll pull up 302 because it's more money. So like, but it still shows like a huge disparity, right? So for UFC 302, I think the highest maker was like $1.8 million. This is the Makachev one, right? Where's the fucking list? See, now I lost it. Oh, god damn it! It's fucking annoying. Sorry, I had it up for a second, then I lost it.
Inflated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But I mean, it is what it is. But I get it. I mean, it's weird because there's a lot of fighters out there and people that are still trying to get into MMA. But
Is it called prize money that the boxers get together?
It's a purse or prize. Yeah, one or the other.
okay. Um. Well,
Oh yeah.
if you want to move on, we haven't talked about the 34, or did y'all talk about one of what's his name?
The Traente Cuatro. We'll put it in Spanish
Mhm.
for him because
The 34.
yeah,
That 34.
he doesn't rate the English.
Damn. Did y'all talk about
Wait,
it
what's it?
last week?
No,
there's
what's the
there's
34?
nothing last week. That's the amount of felonies that
Oh, shit,
former
yeah.
President
I was
disgraced Donald Trump now has.
34, 45.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he racked up a substantial amount of felonies with his hush money case. And I think that they messed up from the get go because the case was about him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, and they started off the trial like his defense started off the trial of trying to say how he never had sex with Stormy Daniels. That is not what the fucking trial was about. The trial was not about whether or not he had sex with Stormy Daniels. The trial was about the fact that he paid money to cover up the fact that he paid money to bury the story that he had sex with Stormy Daniels. He never even had to admit that he never even had to like mention anything about sex and Stormy Daniels. He could have like just talked about how he never paid the money, but obviously he did. So yeah, it was pretty dumb. So basically what happened was, a while ago, he had sex, I think it was on more than one occasion, with former porn star Stormy Daniels. And then once he started to run for president in like 2016, he wanted to kind of shore up his liabilities, and he paid Stormy Daniels money under the table to not talk about their sexual encounter. And he also, because Stormy Daniels was selling the story to tabloids. One of them was, I think it was the National Enquirer or something like that, or one of those tabloids. I forget the tabloid's name. So he pays these tabloids money to like monitor negative stories about him, and so one of them was the Stormy Daniels story. So he was like, okay, she's like basically shopping around to sell the story that they had sex together. So he had his then fixer, who's fixer / attorney, Michael Cohen. He told him to basically pay her hush money to like not talk about this and just sign an NDA. And so she did. He paid her money and buried the story. And it came out anyway. And that's the reason. And the reason why it's a big deal is because it affected the election in 2016. Because I think if people back then would have known that he had sex with a porn star, that probably wouldn't have looked good, especially when you were going for the evangelical crowd.
It doesn't matter. So I thought the major thing was that
wife.
I thought the major thing was that he used the hush money from his campaign endorsements to hush her up, which is completely illegal.
Wait.
So
say again.
I thought he used campaign funds to pay her hush money. That's what that was the trial.
Well, the thing was that Michael Cohen's the person who actually paid it. I forget how Trump actually paid him. It was through I know he paid him, but I don't know through what means. So, but the person that actually paid her was Michael Cohen, which he was found guilty for lying about it in court, whole different thing. So, yeah.
It's oh, go ahead.
None of this included like him lying about his wealth or how much his buildings were in New York, right? Or is that a whole different ballpark that's still out being worked on?
Yeah.
You know how he in New York he said his businesses were worth more money than they actually were, and so he was stealing like a bunch of tax money and stuff from the city of New York.
Yeah, I mean, he did some shady stuff, shady business practices, and like people were just like, and he was convicted of all 34 counts, not 1 or 2 or 3, 34. 34 counts, guilty. So
Well-
now, which are felonies, not misdemeanors, felonies. I'm pretty sure there's a couple misdemeanors, but most of them are felonies.
They're all felonies. So, which is this is the weird thing is so he's still running for president, and yes, there is no there's nothing that says that you can't run for president or even be president as a convicted felon. There's nothing in the Constitution that says you can't do that. However, there are a few ancillary things that are very important to where being a president and a felon would probably be problematic. I'll just name you a couple of them. First of all, having a security clearance. Actually, let me give a fucking disclaimer. I don't think that, generally speaking, if you're a felon of certain, or if you're a felon in general, I don't think it should be the end of your life. So, especially depending on the crime that you did, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm, you know, I don't think your life should end after you, if you're a felon, depending on what crime, even depending on, I'm not even going to say depending on what crime. If you are a felon and you do your time / pay your whatever, then I don't think that should hang with you for the rest of your life and affect your life going forward. That being said, in current times, with our current laws, if you're a convicted felon, you can't really have a security clearance. And if you're the president of the United States, I mean, that's a big deal. That's a current law, and that's if they, if I was to get my security clearance again, and the FBI goes to my shit and they say that I have 34 fucking felonies, much less one, I don't even think at that point it even matters if it's nonviolent or not. That's a huge red flag. Second, if you're a felon of pretty much any sort, there are a bunch of allied countries that will not admit you in because you're a felon.
Oh, that's true.
Canada's one of them.
Right.
Japan's one of them. There's a bunch of other countries that are.
So I think Canada's one of them
Mexico.
too. Like I remember we
There's a
were trying to
bunch.
go somewhere, and someone got turned around at the border because they had an arrest. They had not a warrant, but they had a felony. They had like a felony conviction from like 20 years ago or something. So they still wouldn't let them in.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
And this is the more controversial one for me. I'm going to say it is you can't vote in a lot of places, which I don't think that should be true. So, but you can.
Ooh. Yeah, you can't vote. I think it's like in 48 states you can't vote. So
yeah, it's quite a few, and I obviously I have my thoughts on it, but that's the way our current laws are set up. I know people were talking.
Funny, there was.
Go ahead.
So I was just gonna say there was somebody in the House or the Senate. I can't remember which house or what building it was, but there was somebody who mentioned all the countries that a felon can't I guess visit or whatever. And like the list, the guy went in alphabetical order. Like it was crazy. Like they kept banging the gavel, telling him that he had stopped, that his time was over. But yeah, there's a lot of countries that do not. And on top of that list is the United States.
Yeah.
You can't come to America as a felon.
And that's what's hilarious about it is because he's out here espousing that all these what he says illegal immigrants are coming to America. All these felons and rapists and blah blah. It's like, well, now you're a felon, so can you shut up? But there was another thing too besides like the voting thing. But it's
well, isn't it state to state that if you, depending on your state, if you are a felon, you can't hold public office?
No, that's not really. Yeah, there's actually astonishing large number of felons. Maybe not felons. At least people that have gone to jail. There are felons though as well in Congress. So.
Okay.
Oh, you can't have a
or
firearm.
former Congress people. Yeah, he can't have. I know he had to give up his firearm in New York. God damn, I forgot what the last thing I was
federal
going to say.
loans, international travel.
Oh, there's another thing that he
housing
has that's
restricted.
against him. So, about his clearance. So, if you have a clearance and you have a substantial amount of like debt, that's a huge red flag. Huge red flag for your clearance too. Which I know it's a little different if you're the president, but it's a huge liability. And right now, the current tally on his liabilities through his various lawsuit losses, it's $500,000. And we don't know what this last one is going to be. It's probably not going to be jail time because he's going to be what they call a quote unquote first time offender, but I guess he'd be a first time felon because he's a convicted sexual assaulter. and he has a couple other things too. But those are, I guess, misdemeanors. But he still owes a bunch of money that are. I mean, he's litigating. He's getting appeals through. But as of right now, he owes almost $500 million in debt for legal fees, and usually that's a huge red flag for clearance. So, because if you're in that much debt, this is the logical thinking. If you're in like a bunch of debt and you have access to these like sensitive documents, you could just sell them to somebody else for money to get out of debt. So
you're basically high risk.
yeah. So it's not like it's not an unreasonable thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. The thing that gets me is that despite him being convicted and people calling it a sham case and whatnot, I feel like this has definitely rallied his how should I say, his fan base or his cohorts or what. Yeah, most people I know, they call them cultists, but I don't want to go that far, even though they feel like they're kind of like cultish. But like they literally posted the day of like, oh, I'm still voting for him. I'm like, dude, aren't you the people that are part of the Law and Order group? Like when George Floyd was murdered in front of people, everyone's like, well, he was a felon, so like they had like no remorse.
I mean, yeah, he was a felon, but I guess there's. Almost not.
He was a violent felon.
Yeah.
Okay. He was a violent felon. And he did it, but however, he was jailed and he served time. He was released.
Yeah,
he was released trying to start a new life, and he had been out for years. So still, now he joins the. I mean, yes, he's convicted of a white collar crime, but he's still a convicted felon, and he still has his quote unquote foot soldiers still clamoring for him. And they still put out their admiration for him.
Got the Foot Clan.
Some of them have reinforced their belief in him that he's untouchable. Like it doesn't matter that they convict, he's not going to go to jail. I mean, he may not go to jail. So his sentencing is in July. I mean, he's probably just going to be told to pay a fine, most likely. Will he go to jail? Maybe for 30 days, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to jail at all. But even if he's put on probation would be an issue too, because usually when you're on probation, like your travel is limited, and he's currently running for president. So
yeah, he's going to have to travel across the country and to Hawaii. Well, actually, Hawaii. I mean, what he's going to have to do is Zoom. He's going to have to do like a Zoom presentation from Mar-a-Lago.
Have a fucking monitor at the front of the stage, talking about lock you up.
Yeah, that's what that warrior fellow was saying. As soon as we started locking him up, I mean, now he's a convicted felon. But it's like, dude, I feel like this has rallied his side more than ever, and they're more solidified that, the Dems or the Libs or the Liberals or whatever they call the left, they can't touch him. They tried to do this and it didn't work. They tried to do that, it didn't work. So that gives them reinforced bravado to vote for him again, because they feel like he's untouchable. And it's like, dude, well, he broke the law, and you guys are supposed to be the group of Law and Order, and this man did this, and you're still gonna rally behind him. It's very weird to me, these mental backflips they're doing just to put him in office. Like, despite what you Biden, I'm not a huge fan, but it's like we have the two worst candidates I've seen in like ever, or in my lifetime. It's like,
at least that's the last election, because it's basically gonna be a repeat.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean, we're looking at two candidates that could potentially pass away while they're in office.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I feel like we're getting like this is the worst. Well, this is the weird thing.
This is the worst future.
This is what I hate about like this current political cycle, is because they're giving us the choice of Donald Trump or Joe Biden, but they're literally right now they're almost pushing the same agenda. Like, seriously, like when it comes to like certain things, like especially like foreign policy and immigration, they're basically pushing the same fucking agenda. Like, Trump was all about closing the borders. That's what Joe Biden's doing now. He's closing the borders. He's putting like a limit on who can come, how many people can come through for asylum seekers, and if there's too many a day, it's gonna shut the border down. that is a Trump era thing. Using the same Trump era fucking, I think, rule to like implement that. The thing with Gaza and Israel, I'm pretty sure Trump is gonna do the exact same fucking thing. The thing with Russia and Ukraine, 50-50, but probably the same thing. You know, the tariff situation that we have right now. Biden just put 100% tariffs on Chinese EV cars. So like, they're giving us literally no choice to push this like certain agenda, and it's not, in my opinion, it's not in the best interest of America as a country as a whole. And no matter which one of them you vote for, they're both kind of shitty choices because they're giving you shitty policies along with both of them. So, yeah, I mean, right now, if you voted for Trump, you would likely have more issues if you're a woman with, like contraception and women's rights. But under Biden right now, they're still restricted. Like if you're in a certain state, like you're still basically living in some crazy fucking dystopian future where you can't, if you get raped, like you can't get fucking abortion. Like that's insane to me. And that's under Biden's watch. It's the same agenda that I don't want to exist in America. And they're both pushing the same thing. I know Biden's saying that, he's not pushing like an anti-abortion thing, but it's existing underneath his watch. So, and he's not doing, as far as I know, anything on a federal level to fix that, because it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has already strucken down Dobbs. So, what are they going to do? He's not going to use it. He's not going to use an executive order to fix this. So it's another, right-leaning agenda that's getting pushed through while we have a supposedly Democrat in office. So this is how they're all just kind of fooling people with who to pick. So good luck who you're going to vote for.
Where's what's the name when you need him? God, the Asian guy. What's his name?
Andrew Yang.
No, Andrew Yang.
Yeah,
that's
Andrew
out.
Yang.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote. I'm actually gonna write him in because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write him in again for the second time in a row. I'll write him in, even though, especially now, I don't agree with everything he's doing right now, but I still believe in him way more than either one of those two fucking assholes. So. Sorry, got political. This isn't a balanced exchange. I think me and Papa Bear are going to go through this, hopefully soon. We can like break it down on a different level.
I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast. A little sidetrack. So, I like drinking like sparkling water, and Blue Blade makes some pretty good flavors.
Blue Blade, but I've never heard of this.
Blue Blade, yeah. The B.
Oh, Blue. I thought you said Blue Blade. My bad. Okay, gotcha. I understand.
I was like, okay, did I say it right?
I was like, is that a fucking Pokemon or some shit? What the fuck, bro?
But no, they have this flavor that's an orange creamsicle. Dude, it tastes like orange creamsicle, like the soda, and like I fucking love it. Nancy hates it, or the sweetness, she hates it, but she doesn't like cream soda to begin with. But they have these at work, and every time I leave work, I always grab like a can or two. But yeah, it tastes just like a creamsicle. It's super good. I can't find it in stores yet.
I do know that Bubbly, they have like their lemon lime. It tastes kind of like Sprite, just not as much sugar. That's the one I drink the most. The rest of them just taste like they sprinkle a little flavor in it, and that's it.
It tastes
like
tastes like static.
It just doesn't taste right. It's just soda water with like a little spruce of like flavoring. But like with their lemon lime, it tastes kind of like Sprite, but there's zero sugar, zero everything. So it's actually not too bad. It's the only one I really drink. I've been trying like their other flavors, but now I'm gonna have to try that one. Yeah. Sounds pretty good. Moving on from the 34. Did we all see 3 Body Problem? Because I finished it like a couple weeks ago.
I finished it. I read the first book too.
God dang.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet? You haven't seen it?
No, but let's go into it. No, yeah, I don't even remember the last time I watched Netflix. It's on Netflix, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is quite good.
Yeah.
It starts off, I got to be honest, like it's not the most compelling from the jump, but it builds and it gets better. I liked it from the jump though. So
It was interesting from the jump. It was very different. I was like, what the hell's happening all of a sudden? It's weird because it has this weird kind of like um, Ready Player One kind of thing to it in the beginning. And I was like, what the hell? And then like kind of morphs into something way more sinister. I was like,
yeah,
what the hell is happening? Yeah, it literally kind of like it kind of stems around like someone killing themselves in the beginning, and it's weird to me because I thought there was only one particle cell, one big particle cell.
oh,
Apparently,
yeah.
there's like 30 or 40 of them on the planet.
Well,
Like
I think there's 3 large ones, right?
three large ones, but the
Yeah.
rest of them they're smaller ones across the planet.
Yeah.
There's ones that are small. There's one in Tennessee. I guess there's one in California. Actually, there's a couple in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, there's slack.
some in
Yeah, my dad
Arizona.
worked at one. He wired
You
it.
know what? There's well, I think
Great.
the one at Stanford is a linear accelerator, right?
Yes, that's where my dad worked.
So that one just goes straight.
Yeah, I want to go straight. So some of them were straight. The one in was it Denmark or Sweden? That one's
It's a
the circle.
Yeah.
That's basically Star Labs. And then there's another one that's a circle too. I don't remember what country it's in now. So those are the two big ones. So I was just like, oh shit, that's right. So like it has this like death and then like starts with like weird like scientists going missing and shit. I was like, oh shit. And then like deaths going on and then like all of a sudden like the entire sky like flickers. like what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck was that? And so like I'm surprised that nobody panics, but like it's just that's just like episode 1. It just gets crazier from there.
Well, you know what's crazy? Like the sky blinking thing. So like the book and the show
Yeah.
are different in some ways. Like the sky blinking thing is actually a huge difference in the show.
Okay.
So like the sky blinking in the book is not something you can see with the naked eye. You can only see it with like basically like a like you had to have like a special. Basically, what they did was they turned off the background radiation in the universe. Or it would appear that way from the Earth, but you couldn't see it with like your naked eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see this one the whole planet was able to see it, but nobody panicked. And like mass suicides happen later on in the series.
Yeah.
So I thought that would happen like literally episode 2. But like it evolves around this game. Like it literally looks like this really weird like it's like set up like the Oculus, but it's gold.
It's
and,
silver.
like, thinner.
It's not gold. It's silver.
It was just one of them was gold, wasn't it?
No, I mean
I know
Yeah.
there's one that someone gets where it's gold. The other ones are silver, and it's weird. And like it's like it turns into this weird murder mystery, and then it turns into an alien invasion.
Well, it's not just like it's not a murder mystery. It's like literally like it's like the end of like the civilization mystery. Like what killed off the civilization?
Well, yes, that, but then like the scientists are getting murdered, so people are like, "Who killed them?"
Yeah.
So that's the murder mystery. They're
And
trying
that-
to find the killer.
Yeah, and that part is crazy because it's like in the book, like so the show is good, but the book explains certain things like way better than the show. So like one of the things was like what is causing these scientists to see like the countdown in their eyes. And they explain that in the book, like in the first book. So, but I don't think that the show, like the first season, is finished.
Yes.
But I also think that they're gonna have to deviate from the book substantially because there's a part in the book where they explain like they go into like into this alien civilization and like one of their cycles of like living. But in the show and in the book, they never really talk about like what they actually look like the alien race.
They don't describe them, but they do ask several times.
They do, but in the book though, they don't really describe them either. But you still get to like live like the life. They tell the story of this civilization, but they never actually physically describe them. But they'll talk about like how they can see and how it's similar to like humans and like some other things. But they never actually talk about like what they actually look like. But you still get to like experience their story, and you can't really do that in a TV show.
So I guess you could like do the first person view, but then like
no, because then you would see everybody else.
Other people.
Yeah,
you would see everyone else. So unless you don't see people where they just communicate through technology, and you just see their like daily life through the solo. I've read the books.
Yeah, no, because like they explain like so like there's this thing called the sophon. You know what that is, right? Like in the show, the sophon.
Oh, yeah.
So in the first book, at like near the end, they actually explain like what the fuck it is.
Oh.
And like how it works and like all this stuff. But on them explaining like what it is and how it works, it's like them literally putting you in like the first person, or at least in like the same realm as those aliens, and like how they figured out why they had to build it. There's like a part in the show where I forget her name, but like the first woman who receives like the signal and she responds back, and the person was like, "Don't respond."
Yeah.
Like so, you go to him, like that person, and he explains like why he was like, "Don't do this," and like he has to explain like kind of like how their society works, and then he gets caught by like his higher ups, and it's like it's a really fucked up like society where like like if you do something wrong, like it's really like they're like very binary. Like if you do something wrong, like either you're gonna basically expel all of your moisture and they'll burn you like the rest of your body, or they'll just let you go. There's no in between. There's gonna be extreme punishment of like death or no punishment at all.
So you get a sense of their binary decision or their binary hierarchy when there's a part when Jonathan Pierce he refers to their alien leader as my lord. And when he has to explain the concept of lying, they don't understand that to them it's just yes or no and no in between. When he has to understand lying to them, she does not understand at all. He explains it to them that it's basically a falsehood under the guise of a truth. It seems like she freaks out and she cuts off communication. So it's like, I'm like, okay, so they don't have the concept of lying in their culture. And like there's a part where Wade, who's like he's section 31 if you watch Star Trek, or he's like, I don't think he's MI5 or MI6. He's like some weird government British agency, but he leads them.
That person doesn't exist in the book, which is kind of weird, but yeah.
Okay, but Wade, he's kind of a badass. He's definitely 100% a fucking asshole, but he gets shit done.
He's in Game of Thrones too, by the way.
Yeah, he is in Game.
There's actually a bunch of people in Game of Thrones. There's actually a bunch of people in Game of Thrones that are in the show.
Yeah. Because what's his name? John's best friend. He's like one of the main guys. And Davos, he was great in Game of Thrones. He's a badass in this, but in this, he literally recruits some of the most highest ranked people. And like, there's a part where he recruits like a decorated Navy officer, and he like shows him like a card or his phone or something. And he's like, you don't have the clearance. And he shows him like a card. He's all, and he spills his guts. Because we never see, as the audience, you never see the card. You don't know what the fuck's on it. But once he shows him this card, or I think it's card. I don't remember if it's his card or his phone. He like spills his guts. I'm like, well, this guy has some kind of pull. You don't know what agency he works for, but you know whatever it is, it's very powerful because he's able to recruit people from around the world to be on this project. And there's a part where he uses the game. And he goes to the sword chick, and he's like, well, he asks her, what do you look like? And she tells him, we look like this to benefit you. And he's like, well, what do you really look like? She's like, you're not going to like what we look like. You're not going to like it. We don't look like you.
Probably fucking like, spiders.
He's pressing her, but she keeps like backing away. She's like, we look like we did this for your benefit, so you don't freak out on, what we look like. I'm like, dude, they must.
That's what all the aliens say.
I'm all, dude, she's either a lizard person or an insectoid or of some type. It's not going to be pretty.
So like in the book, they actually go into like way more of like the extreme of their world basically ending, like their civilization ending like multiple times. And it's just like, it's really crazy. Like the one where they, like you see like you only see like one of the extremes of like when everybody like kind of floats in the sky when they figure out like when they figure out how to do like the people computer thing.
Oh, yeah,
that was like one of the extreme ones, but actually they kind of like really edited that thing because it gets way worse than that. Like in that situation.
I'm not surprised. I mean, the people abacus was kind of weird. Um, the one thing I didn't understand is they basically had a human assassin. They sent her out to go like start killing people, but I'm like, well, how the hell did they communicate to her? Like she didn't have the game system, and like I don't know how she just got uh her instructions or whatnot. I mean, I guess they came from other people from the.
No, so technically, I mean, that person in the book doesn't really exist, but there is a way for them to communicate directly with people, like in real time.
Okay, yeah, so I know that they talk about that in the show. Like they do talk communicate through real time. One of them is which Jonathan Pierce. She talks to her to like an old fucking speaker. He sits in a room solo, and he just presses the button, and she communicates to him, and like she's very calm and collective and stuff until she learns about lying, and it's like super crazy, and like the fever pitch that the humans have about when they find out that they're on their way, they're coming, even though it's going to be 400 years. How do you prepare for an alien invasion in 400 years? Like,
Yeah, especially when they are going to stop science on Earth.
yeah, oh, they're trying to stop. Yeah, they're trying to stop and slow science by killing the top scientists.
Well, it's not even just killing top scientists. It's like in the very beginning, like they kind of allude to it, of like when they were in the particle accelerator and they kept giving like wild results. Like there's
Yeah, they were blocking him. Yeah, they show that in I think episode 5 or 7 or something. They talk about how they slowed their process of domination was slowing and throwing off their top scientists and making like when they get close to an answer, they would like throw it in whack. They add chaos to their findings and whatnot, and make them unsure of their results or even their methods. So they either start over, which resets their quote unquote their like research clock,
Basically
and set them back years. Yeah, it was super crazy.
And they
throwing that chaos theory in there.
Yeah, and in the first book, like they explain exactly how they're doing it. Which hopefully I know they said they got picked up.
Yeah, they got picked up for season 2.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll explain like exactly like how they're doing it in season 2.
I'm not sure if you mentioned this about the book, but yeah, the original book came out. Came out in China. Like the author is Lee. I'm not going to pronounce his last name because that's hard because I can't. But yeah, like he wrote the books. The first book was released in 2006. The second was in 2008, and the third one was in 2010. And the trilogy is called Remembrance of Earth's Past. And yeah, so basically it's a Chinese-based book that was picked up. And I was looking on Audible, and the third book is freaking 28 hours long. That's a big book.
Well, you know what's cool is like it's narrated by Luke Daniels, who's a really good narrator, and it is heavily Chinese influence, obviously because the writer is Chinese, but like they go into like some stuff about like in the very beginning of like both the book and the show, it goes into like this whole like red, like it's a very cultural like time in China and like I want to say like the 70s or 60s.
It's the 70s. It's like 73.
Where they're going through like this whole like thing. I don't want to butcher like what it was called. Basically, they were really going against everything Western. And if you had like Western ideas about science, they would basically just fucking straight up murder your ass. So
yeah, literally the first 5 minutes of the show is like if you supported Einstein's theory, you're a heretic.
Yeah,
and you're a heretic, and like you should be learning more. It's literally they're like you need to be learning more about God and like religion. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? Where'd that even come from?
Well,
and all of a sudden it's like you're supposed to get flagged or flogged. In some cases, extreme cases, you're killed.
Yeah, and that's what happens in like in the story. Is that basically a person that happens like her dad? She sees him get like basically murdered on a stage for like not renouncing science, and that basically causes her to lose all faith in humanity and be like, hey, if there's like somebody else that can just like take over Earth, let them do it. And she gets a chance to like basically betray all of humanity, and she does it. And
she does.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And like honestly, like part of me is like I can understand where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
It's all bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I get why she's upset. But when you see her as an older woman, because it jumps through timelines, she talks about how when they get here, they're going to make the world better. And they keep trying to tell her, no, they're not. They're going to conquer us and kill most of us and literally keep us like cattle. Like maybe they'll keep us around or maybe they'll wipe us out. And she's like, no, they're going to lead us into a new age. They're going to show us how to do things right. They're like, you're not getting it. They're like, based on what we've seen through the game and what we've been able to piece together, they're coming to wipe us out and make this planet their home.
Well, what's crazy? There's like a. That's probably the last thing I'm gonna say about the show, but in the book, there's a really good. It's actually a direct kind of like quote from the show and the book, of like these Trisolarians, which the aliens are called Trisolarians, and they're trying to break down to like the leadership of like how dangerous humanity really is, and they were saying like it's like so for them on their planet basically. I don't want to give away like the whole thing, but basically like the planet where the Trisolarians are, like they have these random catastrophic events. When I say catastrophic, it means basically their whole civilization fucking dies, except for maybe a handful of people that live in like a certain place. But everybody else, it happens so often that they have like this whole like defense response where once an event starts happening, they can dehydrate their entire body, they lose all their moisture, and they basically turn like these fibers in leather. And then this catastrophic event happens, but all their progress stops. Right, so all their science and everything else, all their buildings, everything is fucked, and then they have to start over again, like indeterminate amount of time later. So they find Earth, and this person was trying to explain to the leadership like how dangerous Earth is. So like once they figure out where Earth is, they start going there. Like okay, it's gonna take us like 450 years. In the book, it's 450 years from the jump, because the woman's older. Like when we meet her in the show, but it's like 400 to 450 years. Like, okay, we're gonna leave now, but once we get there, like this is what we have to contend with. Like humans had, I think they were talking about like how fast we evolved, and it was like basically we went from like being an agrarian society, like probably like 5 to 10,000 years ago was when we kind of figured out like farms and shit. And then like
agriculture
in the show, it's broken down like that whole scene is played out in within like 5 minutes. So like one of the scientists breaks it down. She's like, so one of the representatives is like, how long did it take you to do this? And she tells her it's this many years. How long? So basically, how long did it go from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age to industrialism to technology, and then like how long do you think? And she breaks it down like each gap between each major, I guess, invention or age gets shorter. And she's like, that's when the scientists realize you're afraid of us. And she even tells her, like, in a certain amount of time, you will surpass us. That's why we have to slow down. You're scientists, so you guys don't surpass us. In this amount of time, you guys are going to eclipse us with technology. And we're trying to slow you down. So basically, the means to stop them, we would earn in 400 years. So they're doing everything they can to stop us from getting there. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah, so that conversation happened in the book of like one of the military guys in the alien race to like the rest of the leadership of like, hey, if we don't send something over there to like stop them, like we're gonna be fucked because they're like going so fast. And it is like if you think about like right now, like just think about like when, especially like if you're a Gen Xer, like you went from the time of like, you know, color TVs and you know rotary phones to the fucking internet, and now we have virtual reality and like all this shit. It's like not even 50 fucking years.
Go further back to black and white TVs.
Yeah.
How long from black and white to cover to color to like recording images from your TV to like cellular phones and like you said virtual reality? How that was literally within the past like 50 years.
Yeah.
Or 60 years.
Oh, somebody donated. Hold on. Who donated?
Oh, I have no idea.
I heard the sound.
I heard nothing. I don't see anything.
I don't see it either. It just happened to pop up here.
Well, I went to go see like when was the Wright brothers' first flight.
Somebody subscribed. Vegas Art, thank you very much. If you're in the chat, I can't see you because I don't have the thing up. I have the chat room up, but you haven't chatted. So, but thank you for subscribing.
There you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Wright brothers, like their first flight was in 1903, and I mean that's over 100 years now, but like that's like a drop in a bucket from all other times that happened.
Hold on, so back that up just a little bit. So in 1903, the Wright brothers got their first flight. how long did it take from 1903 to have like a bunch of planes? So
Like a
we had
commercial.
planes. We literally had planes in World War II, and in World War One and World War Two. So World War One was basically 1918. That's less than 20 years. We're using aircraft to bomb shit, and then we have more sophisticated craft in the
Yeah, Jesus
late
Christ.
30s.
The first commercial plane was in 1914. So
There you go.
that's fucking insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
less than 20 years. And then by 1918, we had the Red Baron as a famous German pilot during World War One, which is less than 20 years after the Wright brothers did flight. Because once they did it, it spread like wildfire. Everybody was trying to do it. And then look at the car. When was the first motorized car? Like, look where we are now. Like, it didn't take that long. So look at our World War One. Oh, it was 1913.
Yeah,
I
World
thought
War
it was
One. Yeah,
officially 1918.
yeah.
But either way,
Papa Bear is letting us know World War One
yeah,
planes.
one
They had planes in 1913. Yeah, that's
Yeah, like I was saying,
That's it.
Red Baron, which is Snoopy was named after. His alias is Red Baron, which is a World War One famous pilot.
And then
So-
in World War II is when we got our first jet engine. That was in 1939, I think. Let's see.
40 years later after that discovery. I mean, that's just crazy. And then in the eight, so here's another thing that's kind of weird. So computing was in the 1800s, not a computer. Back in the 1800s, a computer was it was nomenclature in society, but a computer was a mathematician. It was someone who computes.
oh my god.
So it was basically a teacher.
So hold on, I have to go back to like the actual book. So like, remember the scene where they had like the people computer, where they had like the people just holding up flags and shit.
Mm.
So they actually go into like way more detail about how this fucking actually worked, and like it wasn't just the flags and shit. They had flags, but basically, it was 3 million people that were doing this.
Yeah,
And
that's what they said.
and
they
they
said
were
in the show.
Yeah, but it was basically a whole ass fucking motherboard. Like they had like they had they had stored memory. They had fucking a CPU. They had RAM. They had all this shit where like basically it was all just like flags. And they also alluded to the fact that these aliens had I think it was like 6 arms, so at least 6. And then they had some that were smarter than others. And like at the end for like the for storage, there are people like literally writing shit down. And they had things that were like they had not vehicles, but like horses or something like a horse.
They
that
had
were, like-
horses. In the show, there's a horse because like when they get the
Yes,
result, the
but-
person with the result takes the horse. And,
yeah, but they're
like
not actually horses. All right, they're things that were like 10 to 20 times as fast
Oh, yeah.
faster than a horse. And they alluded to the fact that these aliens were like way faster than people, and they might have even had like when it came to the flags, they probably weren't even flags. It was probably like a mirror-like skin that would change colors to like make things even faster. So, yeah.
crazy.
You know, this kind of makes me think of I'm not sure if you guys have ever played it, but in Little Big Planet 2, they gave you the option to start like customizing and like building like your own thing. This was before Minecraft even, and people made like basically calculators and computers inside of this game by like I don't even know how they did it, but they were able to do it. So like you can enter like your birthday, and it can tell you like the day and year you were born, or well, not the day and the year, but it'll tell you like what day you were born based off like the calculations that they had like run in the background. Like some people got so creative with that game, and it was just a simple game where you had this little character called a Sackboy that ran across the screen.
Yeah, it's because you're able to do the basic materials for computing, and you're able to do that shit. So in Minecraft, you can do slightly more complicated. Like I know you can do literally circuit analysis in the game. You can literally build the circuit in Minecraft and run it, and it'll work. Like if you do your math right, it'll come out and like give you your result. Like I was like, holy shit, it was crazy. It's weird because they actually teach. So what I saw, like years ago, they were teaching kids computing in Minecraft, like how to do algebra and how to do basic like logic computing and how to build a very minimal circuit in Minecraft. So them it was fun, but they were learning. They were learning how to build like literally electrical components in fucking Minecraft. It was fucking wild to me. Super wild.
It looks like for the second and third book for the three body problem. Somebody else does the audio book. It's
Oh, still
PJ
Daniels? Okay.
Ochlin. Yeah,
Okay.
PJ Ochlin. I think that's the pronounced last name. But yeah, he does book 2 and 3.
That's a shame because Luke Daniels is like he's a really good narrator.
Yeah.
Right on. So, three body problem. The issue I have with the show, it feels like it ends in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't like it doesn't have a finale.
they definitely, definitely ended weird. It definitely is not where the book ends, and that's why I was saying like maybe they're gonna finish the series. Yeah,
Maybe I hope maybe they'll do like a part two. You know how they've been splitting series up, and they do part two like 3-4 months later. Maybe we'll get that. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see. I want to kind of switch the gears. Now moving off the three body problem. Sony had a state of play a
Oh
couple
yeah.
days ago. Yeah, I caught some of it. I know Cronus, you caught probably all of it or most of it or some shit.
yeah, I caught most of it, like most of that I wanted to watch. So
Okay.
yeah.
What were your thoughts on Sony state of play?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, there was I gotta remember like what the fuck was in it. I remember I skipped the Monster Hunter stuff because I'm just not interested in that game, and I'm okay with that. Like, there's certain games that for me that game is not one of them. Yeah,
That's blasphemous, but still.
it's not blasphemous. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
What was the first? I gotta start talking. I gotta answer probably, and then I gotta.
I'm trying to think. Like the most of the stuff that I saw was like RPG type stuff, and then we got to see God of War Ragnarok. Yeah, God of War Ragnarok gets ported to PC. I think this month or next month. So it showed like a lot of the stuff. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you know." I mean, like the first one's already on PC, so people are still like kind of mad that it's moving. I'm like, why would you be mad? The first one's already there. Like, it's not that big of a deal. There's nothing. I didn't see anything new for the game. It's just like it's just gonna be ported, so that's fine. I do
know be there September 19th is when it drops on the PC.
Okay, so a few months. So the one thing I do know that people are mad about is that on PC you need a PlayStation account. Like you need to log into your PlayStation to play the game.
Yeah, they need to change that because I mean the game is not online. Like there's no need for that.
Yeah,
well, plus, if you're PlayStation, if you have a PlayStation 5, you most likely already had Ragnarok, so play it on the PC kind of does make sense.
I mean,
you already played it though.
Yeah, but still, there's people that don't have a PS5, or if they do, they don't really play it or what. Usually, most people that I know that have PCs, the other console they have is a Switch. They don't really have the other two consoles. The only one they have is like a Switch. So not having a PlayStation account, and we talked about this 3 weeks ago. There are some countries that won't let you log into a Sony account. So
yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, so this is the thing. This is clunky, but I'm thinking about especially for me, if you go back like 15 years ago, for me, I was a pure PC gamer. I had consoles, but I mainly played, especially like first-person shooters, 100% only PC player. It is very strange for me to live in a world now to where you can play console games on the PC. And if you would have talked to me like 15 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, that's blasphemous. But now I'm like, that's fucking awesome because it's going to give a wider audience to these games if you're still a PC only gamer, you get to experience like a console experience game on your PC because there's a lot of really good games out there, especially with really good storytelling that are only on consoles. And God of War is like kind of the pinnacle of that, one of the pinnacles. And I think it's great, and I see how now it's becoming more like it's a reciprocal thing because they just announced like a couple of days ago that the PSVR 2 is getting ported to the fucking PC with a $60 like little hardware conversion thing, which I've raved about the PSVR. I haven't played it in like months since I've moved, but if I could play like some of the shit that I have on Steam, which it's going to be Steam available, that's amazing. So I am loving this console to PC and PC to console like reciprocal content thing because I think the the more content that people are exposed to, I think it's better for the consumer and it's better for both of the platforms, because if you like some of these PC games, maybe you're going to get a PC. If you like some of these, console games, you're a PC gamer, maybe you want to get a console. You can play these games first. So I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, open market or whatnot. It's good to have an exchange of like games, especially when the only thing that kind of sucks is like when PC games get ported to consoles and you like lose content. That's the only thing that kind of sucks. But the fact that you're able to play some of the games is pretty cool. The one game I'm like really looking for is I think it's Open Space or something, or I can't remember the name. It's a 4-person co-op game where everybody works on the ship. So one of the players is the pilot, where everyone else works on the ship, and you keep the ship together, like either from attacks, from raids, and then you can land and like trade or conquer, or not conquer, but like just blow up pirates and steal their stuff. You can buy stuff to upgrade your ship. It's like it looks super crazy. Apparently, it's
I was like No
only
Man's
on.
Sky.
Yeah, it's like No Man's Sky, but in No Man's Sky you get your own ship, but in this one you share a ship. It's kind of like what I wanted for like a Star Trek game. So
Can you kick anybody out for being sus?
Maybe. So it's on Steam right now, but I think it's called. I can't remember the name.
Oh, this wasn't at the State of Play.
No. I'm just saying over
Okay.
time. Like I can't remember the name. I'll think of the name in a second. But yeah, the one thing that got me overall was definitely Monster Hunter, because like we haven't seen anything really from Monster Hunter Wilds, and like we see like this huge like change. Like there's new combat. Like some of the stuff that you got in Rise is like ported into this new game. It looks like there's new fighting mechanics with some of the, like one of the older weapons. Like you can do like a block and hold kind of thing, and like you can do like different combos with like they show the great sword. So the great sword's like a giant like sword that Guts uses in Berserk. So it looks like that, but it looks like you can do different things. You can command other animals, like your pets, to attack an animal. That was fucking crazy. That looked great. I mean, yes, you can. Uh, in the previous games, your animals would help you, and they would attack depending on what you equipped. But it looks like you can command them to attack. I think more helpful, especially if you're playing with other people. There are weather effects now, which was not really in previous games. The only time you'd see weather effects is if there's like an event, like a crossover event, and there would be something, and it'd be a specific like portal of the game. Now it looks like it's in the world. Like you'll see a sandstorm, thunderstorms. That's gonna change the gameplay a lot. It's not out till next year. I'm super excited for this fucking game. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna get it. I believe this will be the first one that's cross-platform as well. Some of them are cross. The other ones are cross-generational. This one will be cross-platform. I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter, 100%. Oh, it's fucking great.
I just watched the game trailer for Aliens Rogue for the PSVR 2. Aliens with fucking VR? Yeah, sign me up for that shit.
You're just gonna shit yourself.
Yeah. I don't know if I can play it though, because last VR horror game I purchased and put the headset on, I like immediately took it off. It was too fucking scary. It was
scary.
It was a Paranormal Activity on it was on Steam. Oh my god, I literally couldn't even make it. I made it into the house and creepy stuff started happening, and I was like, nope, I'm out. I can't go any further. I even watched other people play the game, and I still like I knew what's gonna be what was gonna happen, but once you're in there, nah, it's a whole different thing.
Thank you to Killer Frost. Yes, Jump Ship. Jump Ship is the name of the game where you can play with other people and be a crew. And like it's cool because everybody gets jetpacks and shit. It looks fucking cool. And it's on fucking Steam right now. I won it on my fucking console like 2 weeks ago. There's no indication that it's coming to consoles yet. I guess it might be in beta right now. I don't know if it's been fully released. Also I got a little tip, or not a tip, but a tidbit for Cronus. He's gonna wild out a little bit. But yeah, it looks fucking cool. I really want Jump Ship to hit the consoles.
This does look pretty dope.
No,
Like,
jump
it
ship.
looks- yeah.
Yeah.
The jump ship looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it really did because
I'm gonna call it.
that was the one that was kind of you're like it's like multiplayer in like a ship where you're
Yep.
yeah
And you can upgrade your ship, and you have a squad. Like people can jump in your game and be part of your crew.
yeah
And like you can designate who wants to fly, and you can land, and like everybody gets out, and then you can trade or attack or defend or whatever. It's like it looks super fucking cool. I'm like, dude, that to me is the upgrade to No Man's Sky. I don't think there's going to be as much like spaces you can go to, but you can be in space. And a lot of the battle they show in the demo was like on planets. You can land on different planets and do shit.
Yeah.
It looks fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the starship or the spaceship they use, it looks pretty fucking cool.
yeah. So I'm gonna my availability to game is going to exponentially grow in the, after next week. So yeah, I'll be back on. I'm actually probably I might move like some of my gear downstairs to like play, but yeah, I'll have to like rearrange some shit in the house so I can get a better signal so I can play online.
I don't know.
It looks like they have an official Discord server that you can join for from Jump Space.
You know what they need? I just thought I wish they had like they need to announce the PS5 Pro, just so I have an excuse to buy another console so I can put it downstairs. I'm just
Right?
saying, there you go, Sony.
It's weird. It's funny because everyone else has like the specs on it and like the size, like everything. The only thing that's missing is like an official
announcement. Yeah.
Like, everyone else says like it basically exists. People said they've like seen it, but like Sony hasn't said, oh well, yes, it's coming, and they haven't listed the price point. However, during State of Play, I guess for the 2 weeks or whatever, like everything was on sale, including the console itself. It was like $100 off. Like, oh, it's pretty cool.
Usually, I feel like Sony will have like a game that they'll show, and they'd be like, oh yeah, like say for example, like God of War Ragnarok. Like, oh yeah, God of Ragnarok. Like, let's watch this gameplay. Oh yeah, this gameplay is actually on the new PS5 Pro. Like, I was expecting them to do some shit like that, which is what they do in the past, but I guess we still gotta wait for them to announce it.
There's a serious problem though. Like the current generation, I honestly, unless they're going to literally up the fidelity of VR, I don't see how they're going to up the like realism on games right now. Like it's very realistic. Like in VR I can get it. There's things that can be improved, but in like on a flat fucking screen, like there is like no. I feel like we're at pretty much the limit, to be honest. So
the uncanny before you hit the uncanny valley.
Yeah, especially like in between generations. Like maybe like the PS6 will have like some new fucking technology that just like blows us all away. But I don't.
And it'll have a what are they called? Those little things they have in Japan that like it jerks you off while you're in VR and shit at the same time. Collect your samples and shit. Save your DNA for in case we can get invaded in 400 years. That kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean, right now things they seem so realistic, and I don't see them getting unless. And this is another problem. So we have like 8K TVs that are on the horizon. They're already here technically, but I think when it comes to like the size of TVs, an 8K TV, to get it would have to be so fucking big for you to get the benefit out of. And I need to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it needs to be like at least a third the size larger than a 4K TV to get the benefits, which would be quite large.
That's huge.
I think
that's fucking huge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're talking like the minimum that you should get it is probably around like 65, 75 inches.
I was just about to say that sounds like a 75.
Yeah, but I gotta look it up. Like
minimum.
This is like my in the head math of like the ideal size of a 8K TV, because there's ideal sizes. Like I'll give you an example. 1080p, the ideal size is 55 inches. Because that's what fit in that fucking rectangle. The ideal, it's bigger than that, way bigger than that. The ideal size is between 110 and 120 inches. Like that's
that's big.
So fucking big.
That's a fucking wall.
Half a wall. That's a wall. Yeah. I was about to say that's your fucking wall, especially if you live in an apartment. That's like your entire like wall on one side of your apartment.
Dude, you're a couple of steps closer to a fucking danger room. Just put 4K TVs all the way around.
You might just switch to a projector, like a digital projector.
That was from Quora. Let me go to ratings. Yeah, it's fucking huge. Yeah, I think it's really fucking big.
I feel like that should be for like places that like businesses, like a Dave and Buster's or like something along the, like a bowling alley or something. Like, if for home use, that sounds like a little much.
What will be the next after 8K? It's what 12?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, okay. So like the minimum you should probably get is 75 inches, and
Yeah.
that's a very large TV. Sorry, only you could say 80 inches or above. Yeah, it's 80 inches or above. Like that's a gigantic TV.
Yeah, that's doing too much.
Sony announced a 12K TV back in 2003.
Still,
And
I mean,
the MSRP for it is $20,000.
yeah, because I mean,
no,
we're getting to the point to where you're going to approach fucking IMAX territory for at-home TV. You know, that's really big.
It says on here the viewing experience for this will be 100 feet by 120 feet.
Yeah,
that's gigantic. That's 9 times the resolution of a 4K TV. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit! It looks like Jump Ship will be coming to Game Pass preview sometime before the end of the year.
So
it's fine. Oh, there's no PvP, so it's all PvE.
Yeah,
Which is fine by me.
It's fine
for me.
too.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as long as we're able to smash.
I want to explain something real quick for like people that are listening to this. They don't understand like the whole resolution issue. So like there's only when you talk about like resolutions for screens, it's the pixel count, right, on the screens, like how many pixels you can fit like in this thing. And when it comes to like ideal like sizes, because once you get above a certain size, you get pixel stretching. But once you get below a certain size, like it really doesn't fucking matter. So when you say like if you have a phone and your phone's like, oh, it's a 4K phone, your 4K phone doesn't really fucking matter. Like you don't need a fucking 4K phone. I'm saying this and I'm holding a 4K phone. All right. But the pixels are so small, they're so smashed. Like your eyeballs cannot really differentiate 4K that well. Like you could definitely tell like OLED between that because it's brighter and like the whole like color gamut and all that shit. But when it comes to TVs and anything you're seeing, it's the size of the pixels. And so for like I said before, with 1080p, 55 inches is like that's the maximum amount you can really get before it starts stretching. That's like it's like stretching a little bit. With 4K, I think it's like 65 or a little bit above that, maybe like 70. And I guess the 8K, you get in like the 80 plus inch range, which is if anybody's ever seen like an 80 or 100 inch screen, that's fucking huge in a house, unless you're a baller. Then
Yeah, it's huge for an apartment because let's be honest, a lot of people still live in apartments. So
yeah, so just
that's all bad.
Yeah, so don't. Anytime you think about like these 8K and all that shit, you're okay with like a normal size TV. Like, I think for most people, like the ideal size TV is like 65 inches or below, probably like 55 to be honest.
55.
Yeah.
I feel like 55 is perfect for like a family, like especially unless you're like baller, unless you have a big ass house, like you live in a 5-bedroom house, and you entertain like family and friends.
Well, it's not just it's not 5. It's not the size. It's not the 5-bedroom house. It's like how big is the room you're putting it in. So if you have like a huge wall, then yeah.
So usually when people have like homes that have multiple, well, usually not always because I've been in different homes. Usually you have like a family room, or what do they call it? It's either a den, a family room,
and then the great room.
Yeah. So like
it's for fancy.
You have a room where you can just put
it's only great people in there. Nobody lame goes in there. It's only great people.
That's all bad.
So I was going to see what's the physical size of an actual pixel, and on Wiki,
depends.
Depends. Well, Wikipedia, the at least the typical physical size of a pixel is 69 tenths of an inch, or 0.26 millimeters is the size of a pixel.
Well,
but yeah, once again, it depends because like the 4K TVs, it's 0.375. If it's a 4K, that's 75 inches. Then it's 0.435. So it does vary. But I just wonder, like, how big actually is a pixel?
Yeah, it depends on the TV because like a pixel, like back in the CRT days, was very large.
Yeah.
So
Big squares.
very
You
You
large.
could see them.
Yeah.
You could get close to it with a naked eye and be able to see the pixels. Now
Yeah.
you have to like use a magnifying glass. See
Oh
it.
wow. I gotta let. I don't know if you know this, Cronus, but after what is it, 70 million, 700 million, or whatever, um, Star Citizen is still not released. After all the
Yes.
donations, after millions and millions of dollars, I believe it's 700
You
million.
say, yeah, I was gonna
It
say
might
it's
be
millions
70
and
million.
millions, also hundreds of millions. So they're
Yeah.
approaching $1 billion for a game that is
Yes.
not released.
Yep.
What game? What's the name of the game?
Star
Star
Citizen.
Citizen, yeah.
So the game is partially released, so segments of the game are out. The game as a whole is not out. It's very weird to me.
I mean,
Is that the one we had like a Kickstarter or something for it? Like they're like,
Yes.
hey, if you
Oh,
give us
yeah.
money,
Mhm.
you can buy the game before we're even done putting it together.
Honestly, I think at this point, I'm gonna Negro Domus this for you. Once the game is released commercially, it's gonna flop.
Mm.
No, nobody's gonna care. I mean, they had their chance back in the day, but now we've had No Man's Sky, we've had Starfield, we've had Mass
Oh.
Effect, we've had there's a bunch of other games that fulfill that need, and at this
Oh,
point,
also, the game I don't think either of us is playing was it Everspace. Everspace is
yeah,
like that.
there's another one too, but yeah, there's a bunch of other games that fulfill that need, and I know that this game is getting pumped full of money, but I don't see from everything, and I see like the updates, I see people playing the game. This is not a game that's gonna fucking blow your dick off. So I'm, I'm
Yeah,
just
it is
saying,
literally. It's 700 million.
yeah,
Not including external investment for marketing and
yeah.
crowdfunding, which was another 63 million.
It's the
So-
fucking, and I hate saying this because I know Bitcoin's like a thing, people make money off it, but it's basically the fucking Bitcoin of video games.
Jeez.
This game it's not gonna. There's no, and honestly, if in the future this game becomes big, you can make a clip of this, and I will eat my words. I predict though that this game, when it eventually does drop, it's gonna fucking flop hard. But they already made their money, so it doesn't
Yeah,
even
I'm about to say they already
fucking
made their
matter.
money.
It doesn't
They
even
made almost
matter.
$1 billion.
Yeah,
so.
they could just keep making this shitty ass fucking game that people have surpassed over the years because they announced this game like basically 10 years ago. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'll look it up. But it's got to be at least 5 fucking years.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it was,
I'm pretty sure it's more than 10 years.
Yeah, the crowdfund started in 2012.
20, yeah, okay, that's come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
2012.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking 12 years ago. Like,
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. There's no game that's out now. The only, even Rockstar with like GTA 6 that's gonna come out.
finally.
They didn't kickstart that shit, and I have way higher hopes with that game than this game. I don't get how people would put that much money into like not have really. I don't understand how the fuck this is legal. Like seriously, how this is legal when you say you're making a game, it got kickstarted 12 fucking years ago. The game is still not publicly released, and we're just okay with that.
Yeah, it's weird because they, like I said, they released portions of the game. Like you can do the space combat stuff, which has like a kind of a campaign, and they've released more than one like campaigns for it. But then there's like another portion of the game that also got released. So I'm like, what the hell is this thing? It's like multiple games in one or something. I don't get it, but
Well,
I
yeah.
just know there's a lot of money that's been spent on
It's a lot of fucking bullshit. There's just these people are they're scamming people. Like they're scamming. If you play the game, hit me up. Tell me I'm a liar. Tell me how cool it is. Tell me how great it is. If it was that great, it'd be released. So shut the fuck up.
This is a crazy part of this. That's a kind of a twist of the story. Is that like the game developers, they were founded in April 2012. This game was announced in September of 2012. So like literally what?
No, it's because
like
of
5 months later. They announced they're making a game.
Blue, I got to give you some context. I'm pretty sure the creators of the game they were very well known game creators before the game was announced. So like they were known people in the gaming industry. I'll have to look it up, like who the fuck they are, but I know that they're well known and respected, or at least formally respected. Not by me anymore. I don't give a fuck. Anybody that's connected with this right now, I don't respect you. So
one of the developers' name is Chris Roberts, and he's known for Wing Commanders.
Yeah,
and
Chris
Freelancer.
Roberts.
There we go.
Chris Roberts is like the main head guy. He has like a huge history in gaming. I used to follow him really like religiously. So I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, like I want to say right around when Wing Commanders movie came out, like early 2000.
Yeah.
There was a studio that they built together. It was Robert Rodriguez, Chris Roberts, and there's one more because there's three of them. I'm pretty sure the last one was Tarantino, but I don't remember. So they made Digital Anvil. The thing was they were supposed to make movies and games. So they're supposed to make movies, and the other part of the studio made the games based off the movies. They lasted for like a year and then folded. So and then shortly after, Chris Roberts started doing Star Citizen. So I mean, I love Wing Commander. Wing Commander is like one of my favorite games ever. It's probably one of the reasons. It's definitely one of the reasons why I try to do what I want to do, but like this game just feels like I don't know. I don't want to say vaporware because you can still play part of it, but it's only on PC.
I mean, some people can play. Can you play it?
No, because I don't play. I don't have a Steam account, so
I have a Steam account, but I maybe I can sign up for it until I don't know.
yeah. So
maybe I'll try to sign up for it. I you know what? I wonder if I could play it on my fucking Steam Deck. Probably not.
Oh, maybe.
It probably doesn't require that much processing power or whatever because the game's not even done.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, I can play Hades 2 on my Steam Deck, and that's an early access.
Let's see. There's an Arena Commander mode, which you can probably play. There's Star Marine, which is a combat simulator.
Give me a minute. I'll let you know. Give me a second.
Oh, Squadron 42. That's the latest one. That's the one you should look like. So Squadron 42 is part of Star Citizen. It has a cast, like a huge cast, including Henry Cavill, Mark Hamill, Gary Oldman.
What is this? I saw the Squadron 42. Like what is that about? Because I see like there's some A/B list actors on this.
It's a single player game, but it's set in It's part of Star Citizen, but it has like a huge fucking cast, like a huge cast. And that's the most recent one. If you can get Star Citizen, which came out in or Squadron 42 came out in 2020 apparently, so you should be able to get that. It has 70 missions.
Yeah, see, there's like different episodes, which is interesting.
Yep. Oh, Rona Mitra, Mark Strong, Jillian.
Fucking Gillian Anderson's on here. Isn't that homegirl from X-Files? Oh wait, I can't hear you. Let's see. Can anybody in the chat? Can you guys still hear us? Because Chronos stepped away, and I can't hear Old Ninja. See if Chronos can hear me.
All right, let me bust out my.
Chronos, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, can you hear Old Ninja?
No.
Okay, we lost Old Ninja. I mean, I can see him, but he's not talking. But yeah, it looks like Gillian Anderson is part of the Squadron 42, which is homegirl from X-Files.
Yeah.
And also that sex education show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like that? What's that was called?
Yeah, she still looks pretty good. So yeah.
Dude, when they re-released X-Files, and that one scene where everybody was kind of like, I think they were like tripping balls, and she got like all sexy inside of the cafe. That still lives in my memory rent free. I don't remember what episode it was, but it was when they brought X-Files back for that short period.
Remember her in American Gods? She was like one of the best things.
Oh yeah, that's right. What did she like? She was like played like a Marilyn Monroe type, right?
Well, she was like the media person.
Yeah.
So I cannot get Star Citizen on my Steam Deck. I'm just saying, it's not even available. That's terrible. Because I have to get like some weird fucking. I never looked up how to actually get the game because I was not interested since it's been like delayed so long.
see it shows up on. I haven't logged into Steam on my laptop in a while, but it doesn't crash. Let's see what other.
Oh wait, no. Okay, apparently it is on the Steam Deck.
Oh shit!
Why
Like,
can't
can you
I-
see it in? Can you see it in the store, or are you just looking
No,
online to see if it's available?
there's ways to play it apparently on it. I guess you got to like do things, which is one of the things I like about. Oh yeah, you have to put it in Windows, which I'm not going to install Windows on my fucking Steam Deck. Oh, okay, there is a way to put it on Steam OS, but all right. Okay, there's like mixed things on it, so yeah.
Mixed reviews on
I'm
it.
not. Yeah. It's like there's a way you can do it, but it's like a kind of like you got to play around with it, which I can do, but also I don't want to play the game, so fuck it.
Right. I think you got Ninja back.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope.
Wait. Yes, maybe.
I can
Can you-
talk. I can't hear you guys.
Oh.
Oh.
All right.
Change this
Yeah.
real-
My mouse started tripping all of a sudden. Let's see.
I have to say, as we're waiting for Ninja to reconnect and all that shit, I've been playing Dave the Diver a lot, which thank you very much.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Dave the Diver is a very odd game to really explain, but thank you, Patrick, for recommending it, because he's going through some shit right now. Obviously, so am I. I can only give like so much of my brain power to anything right now, and I need like things I can pick up kind of quickly. Dave the Diver is a game where basically you play as like this diver that goes down to like get fish and stuff for a sushi restaurant called
Oh.
Bancho's, and it's a very it's hard to explain because it's pixelated. It initially starts out as you like being like this guy who's just like looking for like scavenge and fish in the ocean, but it turns into like you find this like underwater sea like people, and you have like these people you need to like impress in your like sushi restaurant. Then you gotta like learn how to like hire people for your restaurant to like run the restaurant better, and then you gotta figure out like all this other shit. It's just like it evolves rather quickly into being a time suck, but like a really fun time suck. So, and it's a roguelike game, which is amazing. So every time you go in the ocean, it's different.
Yeah, I think I've seen some a couple of people play it online, and it looks like it's fun. And it's like you basically upgrade like your boat so you can like stay, like, you can go out further and like upgrade your equipment. And there's like different islands you can interact with.
No. So not the boat. You can't. I've never been able to upgrade the boat. You can upgrade your equipment as a diver. I think it might be thinking of a different game. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, let me go look and see.
Maybe I'm not far long enough. I don't know. But I'm the boat that you're on basically just takes you to the giant blue hole, and back and forth to like the sushi place, a farm, or like a fishery that you build later on in the game. But it's pretty insanely fun, and it's like very how do I put it, compartmentalized, because you can like basically play like a mission in like 10-15 minutes, probably less than that.
Oh yeah, this is a totally different game.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the artwork, and it looked like the other game I was just talking about, but yeah, this is totally different.
Yeah, the game you're talking about is like I know what you're talking about. It's like I think it's Dredge is what you're talking about.
That could be it.
Pretty sure, yeah. Which I have not played that one.
But yeah, it definitely looks like it's 8-bit. Like it looks like what's a game called? Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. Well, it's
but
actually
a little bit more.
Yeah, it's way more
pixels.
pixelated. But it's a lot of fun. I recommend it if you just need like a quick game to play to have some fun. There's a storyline that it's kind of like way more involved than you think it is. So yeah, like, and the guy Bancho, he's like this black sushi chef who is just like, he's dope. Oh, Ninja, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Testing. No.
Yes.
I don't think you can hear us. Is this? I know I'm seeing it right now on Steam Deck, but can you play it on? Is it on the consoles too?
Yeah, I'm playing it on PS5 because it was free.
Yeah.
So I got it for free, and then there's a Godzilla DLC that I got for free. So.
Oh yeah, that's on here too. David Dive Godzilla.
Yeah. Yeah, it if you play it and you're like, oh, this is very basic, just keep playing it.
It's got pretty good reviews. Like IG gave it 9 out of 10. PC Gamer gave it 91 out of 100.
Yeah.
Eurogame Germany gave it 10 out of 10. It says one of the year most addictive games.
It is, and it doesn't really make sense why it's so addictive, but you got to keep playing. And it's like what's really cool about any kind of roguelike game is that at any time in a roguelike game, you can have a bad run where you can just fucking die. And you could do that in Data Diver. So I thought I was badass for a while, but if you don't get the right shit and all of a sudden, like, I don't know, a great white shark finds you, like, you're fucked. So yeah.
That reminds me of a different game where, like, if you're not equipped to basically make it to that level, like, you just get your ass handed to you.
Yeah.
Let me see if is it on PS Plus?
It was. I don't know if it still is. It might still be. I mean, you got it. You tell me.
Well, was it on PS Plus or was it PS Premium or whatever it was?
Well, I don't know. I have Premium, so everything to me is Plus. I guess. Yeah.
My multiple shit work. Let's see if it's still on here.
But anyway,
no, it's not here.
I am muy sueño right now.
All right.
So
Street Raid 4 is on here for this month.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah. Ninja can't hear us. He looks very confused.
Yeah.
Very confused. It's like
Did he get a new headphone or something?
I don't know what happened. I don't see that we can hear him, so his microphone is working.
Yeah.
I think his headphones aren't though, because I don't see. Oh no, the blue thing is on there.
Or blue or green or something.
Yeah.
Right now we're looking at Ninja's screen and he's like concentrating on something.
He needs that one black dude from the memes that's gonna work on the computer.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not him. It's not him.
All right. Well, while we wait for him, see if he pops on. What you got crackly next week, Cronus?
Well, I gotta be honest. Next week for me, it's probably gonna be it's gonna be terrible and hopefully good. So, yeah, I'm going to Vegas next week. I'm not gonna talk about the terrible part. I'll talk about the good part. I'm going to 29 Palms first for Papa Bear's retirement. And then he's doing a double retirement ceremony. So he's doing the ceremony in 29 Palms on the Marine Corps base. I'm going to be there for that. And then then we're going to go to Vegas. We're going to go to the Leatherneck Club, which I've never been to in Vegas, which is a Marine Corps club. And that's where he's going to have his other kind of like reception for retirement thing. I'm looking forward to it because I get to be around Marines again, which I don't realize that I miss them until I'm like reunited with them. I'm like, these are my people for like a good solid number of years in my life. And I miss them. And I need to hit up my friend Dave. He's really my family from the Marine Corps because his daughter.
Dave the Diver?
No. My friend Dave, his daughter is in the Air Force and she's out in Vegas. And she was like, when she was a baby, she was like the first baby that I got to like interact with on a daily basis that I thought was like really cool because she was like really cool kid, but now she's a whole ass adult. Like we had shots last time I saw her, we had shots together, which is fucking weird because I did the same thing with my oldest, which it's odd, but it was cool. So hopefully she's still out there. I know she's going to Korea soon, but I hope to see her while I'm out there and to see all the rest of my Marine friends. And then I'm gonna have a huge transition in life once I get back, and hopefully I'll get through that. So yeah.
Hopefully you have a lot of fun while you're out there. Definitely don't do any cocaine off a dead stripper's body.
I mean, this time if it falls out of her stocking, then I don't know.
Yeah, right. For me, like I mentioned on the podcast, next week I'm gonna be traveling out to Seattle for work stuff. One of my counterpart was let go, and I've kind of been picking up her workload. And they basically want me to check out the labs that they have out there, so I have like a better understanding of how things kind of run out there. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's gonna be kind of hard.
Wait, hold on. Are you making meth?
Yeah, man.
Okay, go on the lab. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Ninja, I saw you laugh, but you still can't hear you, man.
Nah, we still can't hear you. But no, I work with the VR department, so there's different labs across the world, and certain labs do certain things. So I'm gonna go check out these labs. Um,
So virtual.
one of the something weird that's kind of hits you when you become a little older is that your vision kind of gets bad. So lately I've been like struggling to see things close up. So your boy's got specs
shit,
now.
the spectacles.
Yeah, so I got glasses I gotta wear. So
Wait, are those
I mainly
Oakleys?
need them for.
Are those Oakleys?
Oh no, these are Armani.
Oh,
These are Armani Exchange. I'm bougie, but yeah, I just need them mainly for reading, like things close up. So I'm farsighted, but my farsightedness is a little skew. So they're basically I can wear them all day, and they're transition lenses, and they're not bifocals. What are they called? They're progressive. So like I can look down to read and then like look up to see like everything else. I was gonna try to use like a cool intro because you know how like in anime how like the villain has like
the light,
the glasses glare.
Yeah.
But these are anti-glare, so I mean you can see a little bit of light, but like it wasn't gonna be as cool as I thought it was gonna be. But yeah, so I gotta wear glasses now. I mean I don't have to wear them, but if I'm trying to read something close up, yeah, I need to wear glasses. It seems like everything that you buy online and comes like to your house come with little ass fucking booklet, so it's hard to read shit. So it kind of helps out. But
you don't gotta read that
yeah,
shit. You're a man. Don't read shit. Just fuck it up. Then return it.
I don't need instruction.
Hear me now?
But
yeah,
I'm excited about my.
Hold on.
Can you hear us now?
I can't hear you guys though.
Yeah. Oh.
Ah.
It's reversed.
Yeah, we have to like message him, say like, hey, do the outro. But yeah, I'm excited about next week. I'm a little sad I have to leave the sweetness behind and a little bash, but Papa's got to go make that money. But other than that, I think that's it. See if O Ninja can do his outro and do his spill. Kronos is typing to him in Morse code. Dude, one thing about glasses, these motherfuckers are expensive.
Bruh.
Like the frame itself wasn't that much. Like it was like $100 for the frame, but when it came down to the lenses, it was like easily another like $350.
Yeah, for like the longest time, my glasses were like $500+ because I had like these super thick. Yeah, hold on. And I'll pay extra to like get them thin. Yeah, he just put in the chat, so I'll just put it up here. I think we can hear you. Can you talk? Nope, mic's out too.
Nope. All right, well, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show then. I guess you can see the chat in the online. Anyway, so that was Black and Black times Infinity. Oh wait, how does it go? I wasn't prepared for this. You can find us on the interwebs at benhabproduction.com/BTMBTI. You can find us on Twitter at BTMBTI, Facebook, Instagram, all at BTMBTI. Check out our Discord. Email us at btmbti@gmail.com, and we can add you to our Discord server. We used to have an Amazon app out there, but I don't think it works anymore. So don't go to Amazon looking for that app. I mean, the app is still there. I don't know if it works anymore, but yeah, download it anyway. Give us some credits. But yeah, other than that, definitely check us out. We record live every Wednesday at 8:30ish CP times. So just gotta be a little patient for us to go live. Join the chat where you can chat with us like we have been doing today, and that's about it.
One minute.
I've never heard him.
But can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Nope.
Like
That's one of the
T-Mobile commercial.
All right. So yeah, thanks for
All right,
thanks for watching. We're out this bitch.
Peace.